opinions there. Well, to mark International Women's Day, we're sharing stories about women, affecting women, or about women doing fascinating work. And one of these people is Lucia Pizzani, a Venezuelan artist using film and sculpture to create a portrait of the daily violence and constant fear experienced by her family and friends. She's now living as an exile in Europe and is staging an exhibition of her work in Berlin. This is her story.
The wish of communicating this crisis and let people know of what's happening in Venezuela. That's why I did the film for this exhibition with images, found images of protests, of people taking, for example, food out of the rubbish, and all of these, for example, students that are already in jail. So the ceramic sculptures are called Cuaima because it's the name that is given to Venezuelan women when they are too dominant or malicious, but I also think it's related to their strength because they have to do a lot to overcome the crisis that is happening in Venezuela at the moment, and the way that they are hanging on the wall is like they are the skin of a snake that is almost drying after being peeled off. This work is called Cesta Básica. It's a series of photograms made with food, and it's the idea of the basic basket food that is a list of all of family needs for surviving, for example, in a month. And at the moment, around 18 salaries are needed to be able to buy this. There is a lot of shortages of food, and the situation is really bad, so I wanted to express it through the images of, for example, rice, sugar, eggs, and making the images to be a bit more mysterious and not the obvious kind of repetition, but it is the absence of the actual object or the food that is reflected in the images. So, for example, I work with the albumen of the egg, the eggshells, rice, beans, and minced meat, almost drawing with all these foods on the paper for these photograms, and the result was kind of an open-ended, more abstract image that could suggest or open your mind to other things.
Lucia is a great artist, very passionate, very thoughtful, very into the material that she's working with, and I'm personally very interested in her storytelling in the narrations, and I have the feeling that she has a sense for stories that need to be told, and you can even feel that with the audience when they come to the show and have their own approach.
Well, while we're talking about International Women's Day, let's take you to New York. What do you think? The Statue of Liberty in darkness for several hours after what is described as an unplanned outage. The lights did return shortly before midnight local time, but the power cut sparked social media speculation that this was a deliberate move to coincide with today's A Day Without Women protest about inequality. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Good to have you with us on GMT. Bye-bye.